it is so great to be back with another episode of the Anime Review Show here on the Otaku Crypt. Over the holiday break, I had the chance to finally watch a show that was under my radar for quite a while, and I finally got around to watching it on Crunchyroll, and so I'm going to talk about it. So I'm going to be talking about Gundam 00 today. Now, Gundam 00 came out in 2007, so I'm a little behind on this one. But of course, because it's a Gundam series, you know that it was made by Bandai Entertainment and Sunrise Studios, done through the Ocean Group in Vancouver for all of its voice acting work. It's the stock stuff for who made it. Now, just a little background, okay? I have always been a fan of Gundam. My very first anime was Gundam Wing. I saw it when I was 5 years old and was just absolutely mystified by it. And ever since then, I have loved Gundam. I have most of the Universal Century Timeline on DVD. I have all of Gundam Wing on DVD, of course. Gundam Seed was an amazing experience and I actually made a lot of my current friends by liking Gundam Seed. So, let's get right into this show. So, this one kind of disappointed me. I know, shocking, a Gundam series that I didn't absolutely love, but this one really underwhelmed me. Gundam 00 is the first Gundam series to actually be set within our current timeline. It's set within the Common Era timeline, about 300 years ahead of us. It is based on the premise that when the Earth depleted its fossil fuels, it came up with this system for solar power generation, which involves orbital elevators, just giant structures that span like 6 miles out into space, from the ground out into space, and it is attached to giant solar relays, and that's how the Earth gets power. Now, the 3 major towers are owned by the 3 major power blocks, which the 3 major powers that own each of these elevators are kind of a modern futuristic version of the European Union, the Human Reform League, which is made up of mostly the Asian countries and Russia, and the Union, which is just pretty much North America, America being the main power there. These 3 power blocks are constantly fighting with one another over the control of the solar energy, and therefore we're introduced to our main characters and our Gundams. This is the problem I have right away. They just get right into it. 5 minutes into the first episode, we have our first Gundam landing to, land and kick ass and say, yeah, Gundams are here. Now, that was cool, and I'll admit, Gundam Exia, the first one we see, it looks very cool, but it just didn't have that great build-up moment like we had in all of the other Gundam series. Like, in the very first one, we have that great, attack scene, and Amuro discovers the Gundam. It's a big moment. And this was done even better in Gundam Seed, where Kira finds the Strike Gundam, and the episode ends on that amazing shot of it engulfed in flame. In this one, we just jump right into kicking ass, which, I don't know, maybe that's what Bandai thought they had to do, because, hey, everybody knows Gundam, let's just give them what they want. But yeah, we just kind of rush into it, and I wasn't really happy about that. And also just kind of while things do look pretty, this Gundam series does not get me interested in their tech. Like in Gundam Seed, they talk about how the Gundams have these battery powers and it's because nuclear power doesn't work anymore, and all these great things. All we get in Gundam 00 is that we know they have something called the GN drive, and it has something to do with solar power, like everything else. Let's get into the characters. So we pretty much have 4 main Gundam pilots. The first one is Setsuna. Now, Setsuna right away bothers me because he's essentially a pussified version of Sosuke from Full Metal Panic. Right away we find out that he is the child soldier and that he's been fighting, and he saw a Gundam when he was younger and said, yeah, I have to be a Gundam pilot, that is it for me. He's a little over the top in his Gundam obsession, even as a character involved in the world, so yeah, not impressed there, and he's the main character. This is where it gets even more ridiculous. Our 3 other Gundam pilots, they're all essentially the same archetype. Every Gundam pilot is essentially stoic with one sort of emotion that flares up. Like, Setsuna is the one who will have sudden sad moments, and our next pilot is Alleluia Haptism. Yeah, that just happened. You have some of the most ridiculous code names ever in this show. Alleluia is the one with the split personality, so he will occasionally have crazy moments. And then we also, the next one is Tierra Arde, who will just have sporadic moments of anger, especially at the other Gundam pilots. He thinks he's too good for everybody. And the fourth Gundam pilot is the only one that I would consider possibly endearing, and here's where I get into the ridiculous code names again. He is the pilot of the Sniper Gundam, and his code name is Lock-On. Yeah, Lock-On Stratos. It was only a slight redemption to find out that these weren't their actual names, so that's something in their favor. Lock-On is actually funny sometimes. He is the only one who could be considered possibly charming and endearing, and the fact that he's the one with the Haro in this show, you know, gotta love our Haro in Gundam. This is full of just stereotypical archetypes that, you know, don't need to be done over and over again, but they did. Maybe they feel like they have to at this point because it's what people are expecting. I don't know. I just didn't like it. And also, on the note of kind of like stereotypical things, it is the exact same voice cast as Gundam Seed, pretty much. You have Brad Swale plays Setsuna, and right there, I don't like Brad as a badass. I always like him as a soft-spoken character. I didn't like him as light in Death Note either. So this is kind of the same thing. Him trying to be hard doesn't work for me. Richard Ian Cox is in it, and of course he plays kind of the crazy one. He played Shoddy in Gundam Seed, who was one of the crazy pilots, and he's Alleluia in this one. And like the captain is played by the same person who played the captain in Gundam Seed. Like, we're just getting a lot of rehashed characters here. So to not completely run this series into the ground, there were a couple things that can be said are good. It's very pretty. Visually, it looks great. They use a lot of great light effects with the Gundams because they have a solar-powered engine. Some of the tech looked really cool, like Tiara's Gundam, the Virtue, is like very big and bulky and has a lot of like big and cool laser weapons. Like, it's got a good look. And with the Gundam Dynamis, which is Lock-On's, I actually found it really cool that he actually has a system in the cockpit where he has to kind of pull down a mock rifle and aim with it. That was kind of cool. Otherwise, in the pantheon of Gundam series, this one just really didn't hold up. Like, sad to say it, I'd say go watch G Gundam just because it's amusing before watching Gundam 00. So, you know, my faith in the franchise has been a little rocky. But I'm gonna say, for total transparency, I have only watched the first 20 episodes. Maybe it gets amazing in the second half. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this one. But for now, I'm gonna say that this Gundam series, probably, if I hadn't watched it, I wouldn't have minded. But anyways, that's my kind of quick review on Gundam 00, and like I said, I am very glad to be back doing this. I have a lot of fun, and I hope to be doing it every week again. So thanks for joining me on the Anime Review Show. I am Joshy T. You can follow me at Joshy T_meta on Twitter, and like the Facebook page and the website. We've been posting a lot of blog entries on the website over the holiday break while we haven't been doing these videos. It's actually a lot of fun, so go check those out at www.otakucrypt.com. Thanks a lot, guys, and I look forward to seeing you next time, and here's